We took a bus trip from Matera to Lecce where we stayed for a couple of days. Here we are on the bus. The bus was actually pretty comfortable. And now here we are looking at the beautiful Italian landscape. And next, here we are in our Airbnb, which was about a 20-minute walk from the bus station where we got dropped off.
Something like that, I think. We had our luggage, so I don't know. It really wasn't too far.
The shower was really small.
No, this one was actually a little bit wider. This was wider than the first place that we stayed.
Yeah, the first place
in
was
Bari.
The first place was microscopically small. This was a little bit bigger.
Yeah, it was fine. I had enough room in there.
Here we are in the main area where you could get a breakfast in the morning. They closed up shop by about 10:30, and they even unplugged the coffee machine as well. Here we are, the steps up to our room. And here we are out in Lecce.
We were there in March, and unfortunately there was a lot of work being done. We couldn't go into a couple of museums. We couldn't go into several of the churches, different sites that we wanted to see.
This is the Plaza del Celestini. And that is Paulette looking at the paper map we were given.
That's Mark going to get hit by a car. He has a death wish.
And this is the Basilica di Santa Croce.
Lecce is often referred to as the Florence of the South. It is beautiful with the historic city in Puglia, the region in southern Italy. Here's some interesting facts about it. It's a Baroque capital of the South. Lecce is renowned for its Lecce Baroque architect, a highly decorative and theatrical style that flourished in the 17th century. Buildings feature intricate carvings of angels, animals, and mythological creatures. The local soft limestone is easy to sculpt and has a warm golden hue, perfect for the elaborate designs seen throughout the city. Ancient Roman roots. Lecce was an important Roman city known as Lupia, and you can still visit the 2nd century Roman amphitheater in the city center, which once held up to 25,000 spectators. Now, Mark and I tried to go there. Unfortunately, it was closed off too. They were doing some renovating to it also. Again, we were there during non-peak season, so that's when a lot of things, get shut down, get renovated or closed, all that. Also, an interesting fact is that Lecce is known for what's called cartapesta, basically paper mache, for its tradition of crafting regionist and artistic figures from paper mache, a tradition dating back centuries. Lecce in the Salento area is one of Italy's sunniest and driest areas, over 300 sunny days a year. Locals joke that sunglasses are more important than umbrellas. Well, it was sunny there on several days while we were there. It did rain one night and early in the morning, but it was pretty darn cold, I gotta say that. I mean, like later towards the afternoon, we could unbundle from our gloves, my gloves, jacket to just a shirt with a sweater over it or something to that effect.
Yeah, but going out in the mornings, we really had to layer up.
We did.
And then you shed those layers as the day goes on. I will say that Lecce had a lot of plazas, and in these plazas, it seemed like there was a church in every one. The architecture of the plazas was just beautiful with the Baroque style architecture that we've talked about in this video. We did go into a few of the churches, and that video will be at the very end.
Short little video here. This is where Mark and I just went into this shop with beautiful paintings of plates that the gal and her mother do. A little pricey, but they were like a plate that size. In the middle was 70 US dollars, 70 euros. It's about the same. You know, what do you think your work is worth too? So I'm just videoing, showing you a little bit of Italy. Today it's sunnier, but it's still very cold. Got my gloves on, my sweater, a shirt underneath, my sweatshirt, and my jacket and my backpack. One thing that I will say walking around Lecce, I love the way that the streets were narrow and just led you to other little areas, other little, what do you call those? Like little squares and things like that. You didn't know where you were going. Here's Mark standing in the corner. It's pretty chilly. It's funny because this looks like pedestrian streets, but yet it's not. There's cars that go by, as there's one coming now. So, just kind of interesting. We saw this throughout Bari and other places too, Matera. Wow, this is beautiful in here. Look at those windows. Wow. So we're looking for the gate. I think this is it coming up. There was 4 gates in Italy to the city, and I think this is one of them right here. Standing alone by itself. And I believe this is Porto or Porta Napoli. We'll have to look it up because there's 4 of them. Okay, so I was on the back side of the gate entrance. This is the front side. So I'm gonna zoom in. There's cars passing by me right now. For those of you that doesn't want the sides of your cars scratched up, look at this. This is interesting. It's like a rubber pad.
Besides paper mache, Lecce is also known for its ceramics, wrought iron, and weaving. Many craftspeople still work in small workshops in the city. Here's a perfect example. As we were walking along the street, we just saw this guy in his shop doing his work. He was kind enough to let us come in and video for a minute or two.
This is going through the gate. And there's the gate right there that we walk through. Here's Mark with his hat on, staying warm.
Here we are in Palazzo del Antico Seminario. It was inaugurated as a seminary in the year 1709.
This is the bell tower of Lecce Cathedral. It stands 72 meters high. Also 230 feet tall. The bell tower was constructed between 1661 and 1682 and was used for both religious purposes and as a lookout for enemy ships during the Ottoman threats.
This was a large park called Giardini Pubblica Giuseppe Garibaldi. It was huge. It is a historic public park located in the center of Lecce. Established in the early 19th century, it serves as a green oasis amongst the city's bustling streets. The park was established in 1830.
Okay, and here is the third entrance to the city of Lecce. This one is called Porta Biagio. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right because I'm not Italiano, but anyhow. Originally there were 4 gates, but now there's only 3 standing. So Mark and I are walking around. We went to the train station to get tickets for tomorrow morning to go back into Bari from Lecce. And I don't know what this is. It looks like a castle of some sorts. So we're going to check it out. We'll let you know. All right, so we are at the Castillo of Carlos V. And we will do a video once we are inside. Just kind of wanted to show you the outside of it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're getting ready to do the tour of the castle. You have to have a guided tour guide with you, and you have to download the app. And the cost was €8 each. Built in the 16th century, it is rumored to have underground tunnels leading to secret escape routes, though no one has ever officially found them yet. Now, a little fact about me is I was never a big history buff. Mark is somewhat, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Anyhow, but I love going through stuff like this. It just puts me back in time. Now we're going into the dungeon.
Attention when you walk, don't touch the wall, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
And right here is where the prisoners carved into the stone in the dungeon.
Yeah, for those that don't know, the castle has a dungeon. It's a castle on top, but it's a dungeon down below where they actually housed people whom they thought were criminals. This is the center courtyard area, which is the only thing you can see for free in the castle.
Next is the throne room. The Basilica di Santa Croce in Lecce
Italy is one of the most important and iconic examples of Baroque architecture in southern Italy. It was constructed between 1549 and 1695. It really is a masterpiece of Lecce Baroque, a local variation of Baroque characterized by exuberant ornamentation and the use of local pietra lecce, a soft workable limestone. The facade is a spectacular facade completed in the late 17th century. It's decorated with mythological creatures, animals, cherubs, and floral motifs. At the center is a large rose window surrounded by intricate carvings. Construction began on the Church of Santa Chiara in 1429 during the Middle Ages under the rule of the Kingdom of Naples. The church was originally built to serve for the Claretian nuns, the female branch of the Franciscan order founded by Saint Clara of Assisi. The major Baroque renovations were carried out in the 17th century, particularly around 1687, transforming the church into its current ornate style. These renovations were part of a broader wave of Baroque influence in Lecce, which has been flourishing both culturally and economically.
Here we have the Lecce Cathedral. The original cathedral was built in 1144 during the Norman period. The structure was Romanesque in style, typical of the Norman architect in the southern Italy area. Main construction was in 1659 to 1670. The original cathedral was almost entirely rebuilt to the Baroque style. The cathedral is located in the Piazza del Duomo, a striking and enclosed square. The square is considered one of the most beautiful Baroque squares in Italy. The main facade of the church is relatively simple. The side facade is richly decorated with Baroque elements and is the most often photographed. The interior is laid out in a Latin cross. It contains 12 chapels, each richly decorated with altars, painting, and sculptures. My final thoughts on visiting Lecce, Italy was I'm glad that we experienced it. I loved the narrow streets. I loved the limestone buildings. The color was throughout the whole city on all of its architect. I'm glad that we experienced that. Would I go there again? I don't think I would need to. What's your thought, babe?
Yeah, I don't think I would need to visit Lecce again either. I would certainly go to southern Italy again to finish or to visit some other cities.
Well, if you guys like what we're doing, we hope that you will consider subscribing to our channel and give us a thumbs up if you like the video.